So hello plant lovers, we're in my backyard again and we are talking queens. Well, Queen Emma, crinum lilies. I absolutely love her. She's been in my garden for almost 16 years and she is just a staple in the garden. I use her in a couple different areas and has battled through hurricanes. They are tough, tough plants. They've got some pros, they've got some cons. We're going to talk about both of those here today. And then I'm going to share with you how I go overall trimming them. This Queen Emma, again, she's grown to almost a matured height of around 7 feet. So they really are fabulous for an individual specimen, kind of like you see here, where you kind of put a skirt planting around it. And then they do kind of crown out just like you see here. Now, a lot of times in gardens, I will put one in the middle and two on the corners and kind of create more of a halo effect, you know, just kind of rounds it out where there's a lot of action going on as a middle focal point. They're fabulous for that. And if you're going to do landscape lighting, do not forget to put a nice wall light on them with a big wide lens, because oh my goodness, that makes them absolutely stunning at night. They're so structural.
You're gonna have a video out about that, right?
Yes, and Bryce just mentioned that we're actually going to have a video out about proper placement, so we'll make sure to stick it somewhere in one of these corners so that way you guys can check that out. But you want to definitely put a diffused wall light on these guys and you will get that fantastic kind of wide leaf effect, and it's just so gorgeous. But what I wanted to share with you on the crinum lily, they're tough. They can handle temperatures all the way into the high 20s, so 27, 28, 29. Anything below that, you definitely want to cover them. If they're in an environment kind of like what you see here, I mean, we got into the 26 range a couple years ago. I did not cover my plants because I'm not in the habit of covering them here, because you guys, if you've seen my garden tours, you know it's a very condensed, very thick planting, and when you have that, it just really tucks all the plants into their own natural like jungle habitat, so they're really nice and covered in general. So I'm fortunate enough to have some really selective plants that normally can't handle these kind of temps here in Vero Beach, but seem to do super well in this environment because of being tucked in to the garden like they are. But back to the queen herself. So this Queen Emma, and I'll get behind here, Bryce, so you can kind of see, their real beauty comes from the actual big giant leaves. As you can see, I mean, look at this expanse of this leaf. It's absolutely stunning. You can trim this guy back to keep it nice and upright, or you can allow it to unfold and pull all the way down. So beautiful. They do provide this gorgeous, this bloom. Well, this one isn't gorgeous because it's done. And so when they're done just like this, I just nip them off with my Felcos here. And it is a pretty significant bloom. Look at the size of this. But you guys, when this is gorgeous and it's covered with that beautiful flower and it's sticking straight up like this, and sometimes there's two, or I mean, sometimes we have a collection of one or two of these guys in the middle, and they're just absolutely stunning. They're worth it. And by the time one is done, another one is coming right behind it. They bloom all summer long. And they start in early spring and bloom all summer long. Rarely will you get 4 or 5 blooms. If you're lucky, you do. I usually get 1 or 2, but they're so striking to me when they're blooming or not blooming. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. This guy prefers 8-12 as a fertilizer. I know that's a palm fertilizer, but my crinum lilies absolutely love it. They love at least 2 days a week of watering. My plants here overall get 3 to 4 days a week of watering, depending how hot it gets in the summer, and they get watering from about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how often that time frame is they get watered. But the negative to these guys is you definitely want to keep a lookout for pests. I give it a drench about 3 times a year. So I use the Bifin IT drench. I'll be sure to link it down below. And I'll drench this guy about overall twice a year, 3 times if I see any pests or bugs on it. So they will tend to visit anything that has a big giant leaf like this. You always want to kind of keep a lookout for pests because that happens. When you do your trimming of these individual leaves, you want to trim from way back here at the stalk. You don't want to trim anything from here because it's going to leave a scar or a brown mark there. And that also leaves it very susceptible to pests or bugs. So you don't want to trim here, you want to trim right back at the trunk. So that's where you kind of keep it nice and clean. But overall, the goal is just to kind of keep it more upright, keep the leaves the way you want it, just like you would in like a bouquet of flowers. So they're fabulous as a single plant, or a multi, putting several together and letting them really open up and be a specimen in your garden. Their trunks themselves are unattractive. This is the beauty of it. The trunk is just a little wooden trunk. In a moment, I'll move and let Bryce show you guys what this one looks like when it's full grown, so you guys can see what that trunk looks like. But it is the reason why I have these Sanchesia right here to kind of give us a little bit of a skirt planting, because Sanchesia are so thick, so dense, and they do a great job of kind of camouflaging anything behind it. So let me just get this right here while I'm standing here, sorry. I do this all the time. I have these guys, these Felcos in my back pocket, and then as I walk through the garden, I can't help but nip and trim and just kind of do a little bit of love on my plants and trees, because sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes it's not a weekend in the garden or a early Saturday morning. Sometimes it's just walking through the garden with your cup of coffee and your little 5-gallon bucket, and then you put that down and you take a nip and a trim, and you know, you're just kind of fully connected to it, and then you feel like you really did something that day. And then the rest of the day you spend it in the pool with some margaritas. Or maybe that's just me. Okay. Anyway, Bryce, come and take a look at that trunk so everybody can see kind of what I was meaning when I was saying that it's not as attractive. So that's the guy. If it, you know, if it offends you, hide it. That's kind of what I do. But overall, I believe it's a beautiful specimen in the garden. I have a couple of them, and you might be able to see that bloom from way back there. Can you see what that looks like? How graceful is that? I think it's just so stunning, and that's a very, yeah, something out of Avatar, exactly. That's Bryce, right? But it's so beautiful, so dainty, and well worth having in your garden. And I guess that's why she's called the Queen. Now you'll notice there is a green variety of this crinum lily. She is called the Queen Emma, so she is more of the purple tones. And all of these Queen Emmas really do love this environment. They like to be paired with something like you see here. So this Areca palm plays as its cover. So it's like the perfect amount of filtered light. It protects this palm. If I take this Areca palm out, this Queen Emma herself will get a little bit burnt on the tips and not as happy, not as broad leaves. So leaves would become a little bit thinner because they're trying to battle that excessive sun. So now the green variety of the crinum lily, whatever way you want to say it, that variety can really handle a little bit more sun, but honestly, none of them love direct full Florida sun. They all like a filtered light. So if you've got a grouping of palm trees and you're looking for just the right kind of thickness or a little bit of pop of coverage, and you want to put 3 or 4 of these guys in that spot and want them to be in this size range, then this is the perfect fit for you. No fuss, no complaining. This tree, she just really is a perfect accent to incorporate into your gardens. So we did talk about the Sanchesia, which I think is a fantastic companion plant to the Queen Emma, because they're both in that same watering cycle. They both like to be in that, 3 to 4 day a week watering cycle. But you can do something like Mammy Crotons and let them be a nice red border, a nice red fireball border underneath of them. Anything that's going to stay and not compete with that bottom section of the Queen Emma. So if you plant this and it's a pretty good size like you see here, then you can start with a little bit bigger plant. But if you've got a young one, plant something like the Mammy Crotons that are already small and going to stay small for a long period of time. That way you're growing at a good ratio together. If this plant is already large and has a good size to it, like this was by the time I put the Sanchesia in, then go ahead and put Sanchesia in, because they love that. They love that same environment. Fill up that bottom and they will create the most beautiful lacy skirt that you want for that particular plant. If you're in more sun and you've got the green variety, dwarf Ixoras are another good choice for those, because they can really kind of fill in a dense little border but not outgrow the lily themselves. So you remember, all you're trying to cover is the trunk, not the actual beauty of the leaves. So all right, you guys, I hope that helps you. I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit about the Queen Emma, the crinum lily, whichever way, whatever way you want to call it, the most beautiful plant. I absolutely have 2 of them in my garden, so when they're taking up real estate in my garden, I absolutely love it. So I hope that this is something that you're going to incorporate in your garden, and if you do, please stick in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it, that you got it, and after seeing this video, because it was just so cool. Check out our new True Gardener t-shirts that are coming out. So they should be in the link down below, and they are on our website. Thank you so much, True Gardeners, and I so hope you appreciate and enjoy these videos like I do, because this has been such a fun thing for us to do together, and I look forward to seeing you in the very next one. So please like, subscribe. See you soon. Bye-bye.